Hello, everyone. I'm Contest of WrestleZone.com, joined by three representatives of the most talented group in Ring of Honor, dare I say, even all professional wrestling. Shane, Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor, O'Shea Edwards, and Kaun. We're possibly waiting on Moses as well, but here we are, the three representatives. How are you all doing tonight on this fine evening?
Doing pretty
Just
good.
trying to stay warm, baby. Trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
We all good over here.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. Obviously, it's a very well, we're here on a Tuesday, but come this weekend, it'll be a very historic, bittersweet, exciting, eventful, whatever adjective you want to use. It will be a special show. It will be Ring of Honor Final Battle with end of an era literally in the name. Kind of tells you what you need to know. But all three of you will be in action in two different matches here, and in doing so, we'll be using the Freebird rule to defend the six-man tag team titles. So we're going to kind of bounce back and forth here. We've got O'Shea and Kaun here, so two of you at least. I'll start with asking. This isn't the first time we've seen you O'Shea kind of step up in terms of filling in for Shane in a title match like this. But this time around, you're facing the Righteous. So how are you all feeling heading into this title match, especially at what is quite much lining up to be a very historic show?
Man, it's one of those things, man. Regardless of the starting lineup, man, we're a problem. Regardless of the starting lineup, we are a problem. We run deep for a reason. Just because always the next man up. There's a reason why Alabama is, and I hate to say it, man, oh God, but there's a reason why Alabama is Alabama is, because no matter if the one guy goes down, it doesn't matter. The backup is just as capable as the guy starting lineup, so it doesn't matter. This one's a little different because, at least in my eyes, man, the entire landscape of the wrestling world is going to be watching one show, and they're going to be watching us, and it's our time to do exactly what we said we've been doing since Jump Street. We run this. We are who we say we are. And for us, it doesn't matter if it's the Righteous. It doesn't matter if it's anybody else. You just give us your best three. We're going to sit them down because it's what we do. It's what we have to do. It's what we've been doing. So, granted, those three men are exactly, who they are, but there's a reason why who we are and why we say we are. So, for us, it's just we go to war regardless of who you are. You're going to get the best out of us no matter what.
Do you want to elaborate? I mean, I know we had last talked to you and Moses. Obviously it's a two-man tag team. Now it's a three-man group. Definitely a different dynamic there. And again, even though it's not the first time we've had O'Shea kind of step up into that spotlight there, like I said, it's a different dynamic. And again, with a challenge like the Righteous, definitely a big title defense, something to look forward to come Saturday.
Oh, definitely. Definitely a different dynamic. I'm excited to face those boys, though. It's a different style. We never faced the Righteous before in tag match, 6-man, 8-man, nothing like that. And they seem to like to get down as gritty as we do. So it's definitely going to be a fight. It's going to be a brawl, and we're going to hand it to them.
I guess for a moment, we'll bounce over to Shane. Shane, you've got your very, now they officially announced today, a fight without honor with Kenny King. What promises to be a bitter conclusion to what has been a very personal and heated rivalry here. So come Saturday, you'll be facing Kenny in, as I said, very much a rivalry match there. What's your mindset heading into that match? And again, with both the rivalry itself, and again with Final Battle being the final battle, if you will, a lot at stake in the match and the show overall.
I'll get to that in 1 second, but just for a quick second, just want to shine my boys up here, man. Like this is the talk that excites me. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing the confidence, and I'm not surprised to hear it, man, because this is who they are. This is why when I went to go recruiting and I talked to Ron, I had people by name. Like this isn't an accident, right? And I am the kind of leader that if I have to go out and score 50 points a game, I'm not doing my damn job as a leader, right? I should be able to check myself out at halftime and go, all right, man, y'all kill this, or not even play, which is, going to be the case here, and have full confidence that they're going to go out there and absolutely run up the score on anybody that they get in the ring with. So as much as I'm entertained by the Righteous with the mind games and all the stuff that they do, they took Taven to his absolute breaking point. You know what I mean? We're built a little different than Taven is. We come from a different background than Taven. It's going to be a little harder to get into our head and throw us off our game. than a few sneak attacks or some crazy mind games. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for them with the eyes of the entire wrestling world on them to go out there, show, improve, and absolutely steal the damn show. Now, as far as Kenny goes, man, there's a part of me, and I'm not gonna lie, man, like there's a part of me that wishes all of this could have turned out different. There's a part of me that wishes that it could just be me and my homeboy cutting up, talking trash, being who we were. More than likely, sorry, there's some random ass dog in the background. More than likely, me defending the Ring of Honor World Championship in this moment and understanding and appreciating the ride that we've been on. But unfortunately, we don't get to do that. Now it's got to go this route. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to hurt my brother. I'm going to have to hurt my friend. I'm going to have to go out there and absolutely put Kenny on his ass simply because he wanted to stand in the way of progress. He couldn't understand, or he couldn't accept the fact that LeBron finally passed Kobe. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't deal with that. So here we are, final battle. The score overall is in singles matches is 1-1 apiece. He's beaten me, I've beaten him, and now here we are. Fight without honor, one of the most violent matches ever. We've seen Steen and Generico. We've seen the Briscoes go through them. I want to say with A and X. So Kenny has the advantage of being in one of these before. He understands what it's going to take. But I promise you that when he's staring into my eyes, when I come out of that curtain, he's going to understand right away that no matter what he says, no matter what he does, no matter what kind of pain he inflicts upon himself or me, nothing he's doing is stopping me that night. I am going to walk out of there as the winner of that match, but more importantly, the man with the bigger legacy at the end of our careers.
You mentioned, speaking of legacy here, you mentioned the other fights of that honor, and again, especially at Final Battle, a very historic show. You know, definitely a lot of disappointment and sadness on one hand, but I'm trying to be a little more optimistic. It is a chance to really celebrate Ring of Honor's legacy and history, just past, present, and future. Maybe we'll see about that, but at least the past and present. So being in the fight without honor, does that add even more kind of significance to you because of those matches you mentioned, where the fight without honor has been this chance to have in the past these very high-profile matches, these very bitter, like real rivalries kind of come to a head. To me, there's something extra special about that, and especially as we've been talking about with this rivalry of Kenny being as it is, does that add even more kind of, not to say up the ante because the stakes are already very, very high, but does that add even more kind of spice to it?
I mean, sure. This match is sort of the equivalent of playing in Madison Square Garden if you're a ball player, right? Big time players have big time games in venues like that, in moments like that. This is a big time match, and people have cemented their legacies. They've created legends in this environment. So with Kenny and myself being on this stage with these eyes, with this opportunity in front of us, it's absolutely going to be one of those moments where you definitely have to take advantage of it. Just finished Busted Open today, and they were talking about this being sort of an audition for any other company as well, which could very well be the case. But if I'm thinking about that, more than likely, I'm going to get a chair wrapped around my head. So all I am looking to do is put on the best performance that anybody has ever seen from me on this stage. I want people's lasting memory of Shane T to be, holy shit, this dude came in, was supposed to be nobody, was supposed to be an afterthought, built this group from nothing that wasn't supposed to work. Marketing and the people above the decision makers didn't want it to happen. And yet here we are, putting on the best matches of the night, absolutely crushing everything in front of us and leaving anybody watching at home or in that arena that night with undeniable proof that STP is the best faction in this goddamn sport. And individually, you've got 5 main eventers top to bottom who can absolutely do it all. That is my only focus. That is my only goal. And come the end of the night, I am sure we will have all achieved that.
I have no doubt that you will. And for me, as someone that's watched you for several years now in Ring of Honor, I would say that very likely will be, or at least should be, maybe the kind of the defining aspect of your legacy, that you took this group. You started with yourself, became a star, and then built this group, and now here you are, all of you, in this high-profile show on Saturday. And just kind of backtrack to the 6-minute tag title aspect of it. This feels like, again, admittedly, we can all wish that things had gone differently, but at least having this chance to kind of go out with a bang. You're the champions, to defend the titles one more time on Ring of Honor programming. Shane, was it meant to you to kind of see the group grow and I should say continue to grow, because we've talked a couple of times kind of throughout this amazing run you've all been on, but now kind of as the Ring of Honor chapter of it kind of comes to a conclusion,
Right.
This obviously feels like a fitting moment to look back on it. Just kind of what are your overall thoughts on how it's gone, how the group's progressed, and we'll talk about the future, obviously, but it might be more just about the general growth and progress in the Ring of Honor lens specifically.
To sit here and say I feel like a proud big brother would be an understatement. When I met every single one of these guys, they were already supremely talented, supremely confident. They just needed the reps. They just needed the opportunity. You could see that they were damn near miles ahead of anybody around them, yet for some reason, people didn't know what to do with them. They didn't see it. They didn't understand what they had. Seeing talent has never been an issue for me. So I knew that next to me, I could provide them the opportunities and the reps that they needed. All I had to do was step back and watch them do what I already knew that they could do. And we've seen it. With the growth with Kaun and Moses as a tag team is undeniable. They went from, guys that people just were like, well, they could be good, to now, universally recognized as pillars of any tag team division that they walk into. It's not an accident. They've always had that in them. I've sat back, and even though O'Shea is older than me, I wasn't about to let that slide. Have watched him bet on himself, own every stage he's been on, whether it's been on a Ring of Honor stage or every independent that he goes to, and dominate it. The level of confidence that he has is scary close to mine. You know what I mean? And his ability to go out there and outperform anybody just because he can and just because he wants to. You know what I mean? When you have these individuals all together at the same time with the common goal, while you still have to put in the work and while it was still tough navigating all the bullshit, the work is easy. Once we get out there and all we got to do is fight, it's easy. And and we proved it, man. Like you put the foundation up there, as many iterations of them as you wanted to come up with, as many combinations as you could bring, knock them all down, right? You bring in any random team that you wanted. Hell, you brought a team out of retirement, Chikara Legends, to come get us. That didn't work either, right? La Faction and Go Bernable, who was taking everybody's belts, didn't take ours. You see what I'm saying? And going forward, I don't care whose stage it's on. I don't care who's signing the checks. I don't care who's talking about it. You cannot call yourself the best trio or the best faction in this sport if you are not standing there throwing hands with us. You're lying to yourself. you're lying to your bosses, you're lying to your fans. And sooner or later, we're going to show up and start shutting everybody's mouth.
I've seen you say that in other interviews, and I definitely want to talk more about the future here. But some last thoughts here on about the past in a little bit. One thing I've maybe with more so one theme around Ring of Honor Final Battle is missed opportunity. And to peek behind the curtain a little bit, I was talking to Vincent earlier today, ironically, and he's a guy that earned a world title shot and very likely won't get to use it. And now, to me, there's something to be said for a guy like a team like Moses and Kaun. You guys have faced the Briscoes, and what happens in Final Battle, like in a different timeline on the multiverse. If Ring of Honor kept moving on forward in this era, very likely you guys would have gotten a tag title shot again. You faced Kenny King and Dragon Lee, didn't go your way. But gotta imagine at some point the numbers would have gone your way in that sense. But again, the rug getting kind of pulled out from you guys. It's forced this different outcome. And a guy like O'Shea, to me, we haven't really gotten to see you as much, let alone as a singles competitor. But even, this match is really only the second time we've had you in this tag title match. But I can otherwise only really recall one 8-man tag team match where we got to see all four of you together. These are things that we never really got to see nearly as much as maybe any of us wanted to. And now, here we are moving forward here. Hopefully that we'll be able to see it more moving forward. But is it fair to say that there's just a lot of kind of missed opportunity to kind of deal with, I guess? Is that kind of a motive moving forward, hoping to find more opportunities as we press on?
Honestly, man, for what it is, it's always been one thing where the day I walked in for Ring of Honor, it was never about, let me rephrase it, as much as about opportunity, it was about proving people wrong. I've made a life and a career out of proving people wrong, making people look stupid. Because every time I walk in, it's, oh, he ain't got this. Oh, he's not this. He's not that. It's like, I may not be your favorite wrestler, but I bet you money I can whoop his ass. I tell you that right now. I bet I can whoop your favorite wrestler's ass right now. And your favorite wrestler I'm probably his favorite wrestler, But it was the day that I linked up with Shane and Moses and Kaun, and they were the first group of people where I was never trying to prove them wrong. I was trying to prove them right. Where it was just like, no, man, you got the right guy. You want me? Let me show you why you made the right choice. And every day I stepped up into that ring, it was to prove that you guys made the right choice, regardless who was signing checks, regardless who was in front of us, regardless who ring we were in. It was, hey, man, we made the right choice here. We can sit there all day long and talk about, oh, they could have done this, they could have done that. But I mean, maybe crying over spilled milk. Like, hey, now we can do about it now. All I know is Saturday, we showing up and I'm punching somebody in the mouth. Like, I'm pissed, man. I'm about to wreck somebody. And unfortunately, it's going to be either Vincent or Dutch or Bateman. Somebody's getting punched in the mouth. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Somebody's getting cracked. And at that point in time, it's just like, no, man, we can talk about the missed opportunities, but the thing about it is, this is the opportunity to get it to us now. So I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to, I use a phrase, I'm from the South, so excuse me, I'm about to show my whole ass because I got to. Because like I said before, man, the entire wrestling world is watching us. There won't be an eye that's not. And if they ain't, man, you don't want them. But missed opportunities or not, man, this is the opportunity to give them for us. This is the opportunity that Shane put before all three of us. And I'd be damned if I let this go by the wayside. I'd be damned if I take this moment lightly. I do everything in my power to make sure that when I stand between, Moses and Kaun, that they ain't got to worry about it. I got their back and they got mine. And, if I'm going down the battlefield, it's going to be next to those two men right there.
Do you feel similarly about that kind of mindset, Kaun, or do you kind of what are you kind of bringing to the table in that sense in terms of how you're approaching this match and or just the general situation at this point?
I agree with him. We could definitely dwell on like some multiverse shit. In my mind, I was trying to manifest us versus the Briscoes for the world tag titles. Like, that's what I wanted to see, because they're the pillars of tag team wrestling, not only wrestling itself, but Ring of Honor. And then we, the Young Blood, the SOS. Why wouldn't we finish on that end? But like, why dwell in that stuff? If anything, we should be talking about, we made trios wrestling relevant again. We are the most dominant 6-man unit in professional wrestling today. We're about to amass 300 days, and we're the greatest six-man unit in Ring of Honor history, period. And we're going to end on that note. Like, that's what the news should be about. That's the current, and that's what we can deal with, and that's what we're focusing on right now. So, like, that's where my mindset's at. If anything, he says he's going to show his little ass on Saturday, shit, so am I.
It's going to be a lot of ass on Saturday.
I like it.
Boy,
no, but seriously though, like to play off that, like to go off of everything that he just said, right? So many people are talking about, well, it's this and this is Saturday. Nah, fuck all of that, man. Like, just like Kaun said, this is our opportunity to go out there and show you what's happening now, who we are now, what we do now. And what we are is just what he said, the most dominant six-man team in the history of Ring of Honor. We have gone on the best run, the most defenses against the best competition. The six-man titles, when we got them, were damn near an afterthought. And now here they are. This is what everybody's talking about. They are talking about what STP is going to do, what Shane, O'Shea, Khan, Moses, what we are going to do at Final Battle. And excited is not the word, because I'm so jacked up right now, and it's only Tuesday. You know what I mean? By the time the 11th comes, man, it's going to be a whole different gear. We are going to walk in to Final Battle as the most dominant, the longest reigning six-man champions of all time. And I have all the confidence in the world that when I see them in the back, that we are still going to be that. And I'm going to be fresh off of whooping Kenny King's ass. So there's that too.
There's every reason to think that the whole group will have a very successful outing at Final Battle, but obviously that leads us to what comes next. Now, Shane, I know you've talked about it before in several interviews where you want to keep the group together in this next chapter. And you've talked about before how that is a hard thing to do. But now, especially because I have the opportunity to speak to the three of you, your kind of general, to all three, to the just general thoughts on moving forward, the staying together as a group. Shane, you had mentioned a minute ago, there are other three-man groups who are out there saying they're the best trio, and obviously any combination of Shane Taylor Promotions would beg to differ. But obviously the road is very, very open. There are many at least presumably many opportunities, because the wrestling world is very much booming right now. So it has to feel like they're almost like the world's your oyster in a way, right?
Man, just like I said this morning, I feel like wrestling right now is the Wild West, right? Unfortunately for everybody else, Doc Holliday and the Earps go back into the OK Corral on January 1st. And we're not letting anybody go home. You showed up, we're gunning you down, man. And this is the way we like it. You know what I mean? So I don't care if it's MLW, Impact, NWA, AEW, if WWE wants to come calling, great. We've always said that STP can be and should be bigger than one company. So if it ends up that we all can't go to the same place, that'll be okay. And everybody will dominate wherever they end up. But let someone mess around and bring us all to the same place at the same time.
Brother, it's a wrap.
We're taking everything, because I nor they are showing up to be second place, where we are not showing up to be held in the dark. We are not showing up to be in anybody's second-class citizen, nor kiss anybody, nor boss's ass. We are showing up to take your championships and not your secondary ones. I'm talking about the main ones. We are showing up to take those, whoop your ass, and make as much money as humanly possible. And there's really nothing that you're going to do to stop it, because none of them are really built like that.
Just because you said Doc Holliday and the Earths, man, I was like, yo, man, I'll be your Huckleberry,
The hardest. The hardest line in that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Hands down. Hands down the hardest line. Okay. Hardest line. That and, well, bye. But yo, just to echo what Shane said, man, it's just yo, our number hasn't changed. Y'all know how to get in contact. If they want to get in contact, they will. But it doesn't matter. Like you said, because if you're scared, just say you're scared, and that is what it is. Everyone always wants to talk until it's time to drop hands, and then all of a sudden it gets real quiet on all the Western Front, and we just kind of sitting here like, y'all thought we was gonna throw hands. Like, what's the big deal? Regardless, man, like STP will always thrive, regardless of if we're together or we by ourselves. STP will always, be successful. Either we all together or we by ourselves. Regardless of how you shake it, the one constant will remain true is that we will be successful in anything and everything that we do. And we are a license to print money. If you don't want to make that money, well, that's on you. But we've proven it time and time again, regardless of Ring of Honor want to see it, regardless of anybody else wants to see it. We make money. We are who we say we are. When we finally got a chance to get people back and for the other pay-per-view of Ring of Honor, man, they were chanting our names. Mm-hmm. Like that place was loud. It was one thing is actually, I think I told Colin this. I'm like, yo, man, I got goosebumps right now. That place was loud for all of us. It was insane. And I mean, you mean to tell me that we could do all of this off of social media, all of this with empty arenas, all of this with no fans, come back and they all are here for us. You gonna tell me that we didn't do something right? Man, you out your mind. You out your mind. But once again, though, everybody ain't gonna see us. Everybody, because they don't want to see us. Everybody gonna listen to us because not everybody wants to listen to us. And that's cool. That's fine. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing because we know what we're doing is working. And well, it shows.
Do you kind of feel similarly in terms of having this opportunity to continue to kind of prove that, having that seeing that response at some of those first shows with fans back now, presumably, the wrestling world is back on track, so you'll be able to kind of continue to see that, and whatever does come next, if you guys are together, if you're apart, kind of continue to represent the stable and all your goals to as Shane was saying, to kind of dominate wherever you go. Do you kind of feel similarly?
Oh, definitely. Like they basically covered it, man, wholeheartedly. SP trying to stay together. We making money. We, like you said, the biggest thing for me was like we did all that through social media with no crowd. And like to hear them changing STP the first show back, like to see, like, if anything, we got the loudest reaction of the night, both those shows. We did all that by ourselves without no backing. Like, why would you, like, that was it. That's all I needed to hear.
It's hilarious at how the goalposts shift and, when it comes to us, because that used to be the measuring stick, right? Was what you could do on social media until we did it. Then all of a sudden it became a question of, well, we'll wait to see what the fans say. Okay, they told you. And then it was, some other excuse, some other bullshit, you know what I mean? But in Baltimore, they told you. In Philly, they told you twice. They told you who they came to see, and they told you who had the hearts and the minds of the people. And that is the group that is truly for the people, that is STP. Now, like they said, that's just us. If we had a 10th of the fire and marketing dollars that they wanted to put into every other group that they created in this company, it wouldn't even be close. It's not close now, but it still wouldn't be close. So the fact that this thing that I created, that we run, has been able to garner the kind of support that it has just off the strength of us. Do not mess around and put a billionaire behind us. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because, I've been being nice and saying, you know what, there's room for everyone. Everyone can eat, but apparently it's going to start taking us snatching food off of people's plates before they understand. And none of us have a problem doing that. So again, we are absolutely going to show out at Final Battle. And then come January 1st, the spots that people had, I hope they've enjoyed, because they won't happen for that much longer.
I couldn't think of a possibly better way to end it. So with that, I will say make sure to tune in to Ring of Honor Final Battle to see Shane Taylor Promotions defend the 6-man belts, to see Shane Taylor face Kenny King, to see, again, what promises to be a very historic pay-per-view here on Saturday, December 11th. So with that being said, Shane, O'Shea, and Kaun, I thank you so very much for your time. Do you have any parting words? Anything you want to plug, or just anything like that before we get out of here?
Man, look, dude, we've been telling this story again and again and again. Like Shane said before, it's when you watch the Goalpost movie and you still score on them. Hey, man, what else you got to say after that?
Absolutely. At Shane216 Taylor on the Twitter and the IG. All the links for the merch and all that stuff are in the bios. If anybody's in the merch buying mood, makes great holiday gifts if you're into that sort of thing.
At Big Bad Kaiju on Twitter, Big Bad Kaiju on IG. Put a period after every single word. The links to the merch is down there.
And I'm at Decon, the only one, Twitter, Instagram. I'm trying to get my numbers up. Just follow me. That's all I care about.
Man, you verified, dog. You don't need no numbers, man. You verified, man. You good.
And not trying to get him in trouble, but he's usually showing his abs. So if you're into that sort of thing, you know what I'm saying?
He's going to hit 10K before I will, man. I'm like 1,200 away, man. He's going to hit it before I will, man. Come on, man. We have something.
Bad follow.
With that being said, thank you guys so very much for your time. I wish you the very, very best here moving forward. Good luck with the final battle and whatever comes next. And again, thank you so very much for your time today.
Appreciate you.